I was one of the 7 appointed by the conference to begin the whole process of examining our structures. And so we are the ones who came up with a 0 draft and then launched it out to the church to look at and do the editing. One of the things that are new in the Constitution is the need for devolution. So removing the central governance of the church from being an apex, where you have one person that does all the guidance of the resources and the human resource I mentioned. We need human resource department. We need a legal department at all levels, from synod up to the headquarters. I read a 2002 research that indicated that 80% of churches in the West do not have trained theologians. Then they looked at the global South and found 70% do not have anything more than a diploma in theology. Now, the other day, I spoke to ministers, all our ministers, over 400 of them. I asked, how many of you have more than a diploma? And it was 100%. So it means you have a wonderful human resource. Now, if that is not captured in our Constitution, in terms of how do you deploy them, what are the qualifications, who becomes a bishop, how long do they serve, and so on and so forth. And so devolution is going to ensure that people are engaged closer home, and then we can have rotational bishops, because one of the things that has been abused a lot in our standing orders is where someone can come as an individual and write their own constitution. So those are some of the reasons why I think we need a new constitution to be able to harness the stewardship of our resources. I didn't mention, for example, that we are one of the few churches with land, with institutions. And again, the standing orders need to capture how we take care of those institutions. The church has grown and it is growing. And so the need for devolution, just like Kenya went into counties.
As a result of the constitutional crisis that was allegedly caused by the immediate former presiding bishop, they installed a connectional transition ad hoc committee to run the affairs of the church temporarily. They also unanimously declared that the term of office of the former embattled presiding bishop had expired and was no longer fit to hold office.
My name is Kobia Michobo. I'm the chairman of the MCK Constitution Review Connectional Steering Committee. This is a committee whose mandate is to oversee the review process of the church constitution. And basically, it's collecting of members' views and collecting them into the document that was approved by the annual conference last year, so that in the upcoming annual conference, there is a document with the members' views for discussion and ratification as it may be necessary. The last time a review on this document was done is 1991. Those are 33 years ago. So it means that there are a lot of gaps that have come up from that time up to now that needs to be addressed. In many jurisdictions, constitutions are reviewed after a period of 10 years. And a good example is the Kenyan Constitution, which was promulgated in 2010. The second reason is there previously have been attempts to edit the standing orders of the church. And many times they have been inconsistent. The edits have been inconsistent with the Constitution because it has not been updated. So it is good to align the standing orders so that there is congruence in all the documents of the church and the governing instruments, so that we don't have provisions in the standing orders that are unconstitutional. The best constitutions worldwide are made during the time of crisis. As you remember, last year there was a crisis in the church, especially on the issue of leadership transition. And our constitution was not able to address certain things. So we almost fell into a constitutional crisis because we didn't have adequate provisions in the Constitution. So that is another very important area, which makes it very necessary for the Constitution to be amended this time.
Ni kitu kimoja tu ambacho hakigeuki, ni Mungu pekee.